sleep and shield pension trust into the future with you. My name is Samuel Kojo Bruce. Now, the opposition New Patriotic Party has unleashed a ferocious attack against the Mahama administration, accusing it of orchestrating a ruthless campaign of political vendetta against former officials and loyalists, according to the NPP General Secretary, Justin Kodia. The alleged witch hunt has morphed into a sinister plot with security agencies and the judiciary becoming instrument of the particular revenge. Addressing a news conference earlier today, Justin Kodia warned that the government's refusal to back down is poisoning Ghana's democracy, eroding public trust in the rule of law, and undermining the nation's institutions. The NPP is thus demanding an end to the alleged selective prosecution and a return to the principles of justice and fairness.
You recall that the New Patriotic Party had to cause a complaint against government-sponsored harassment and persecution of our members. The party held demonstration and numerous press conferences on matter, reminding President John Mahama and his government that we are a nation of rule of law, and asked the NDC government to put a stop on their continuous weaponization of the state security and the judiciary against political opponents. Unfortunately, all our calls have fallen on deaf ears, but as a party, we shall not back down on our resolve to fight this injustice.
So that is the General Secretary of the NPP. Now, the party claims the country's justice system is now under siege. According to Justin Kodia, state security agencies routinely detain party members beyond lawful limits, slap them with punitive bail conditions, and manipulate legal processes to silence dissent. He accused the Mahama administration of weaponizing the courts and turning liberty into a privilege granted only to those who serve the ruling party's interests.
It is increasingly concerning that the state security agencies continue to flout with impunity the Constitution of Ghana, particularly Article 14, on the grant of bail to persons arrested or detained. Our Constitution requires that persons who are arrested or detained be brought to the court within 48 hours or be released either unconditionally or on reasonable conditions as may be necessary to ensure that they appear at a later date for their trial. Thus, an accused person who is not tried within reasonable time is entitled to bail, irrespective of the nature of the alleged offense. However, friends from the media, you will agree with me that in recent times, certain developments certainly suggest the worrying trend where members of the New Patriotic Party are detained beyond the lawful limit, subjected to unreasonable bail conditions, and effectively denied justice. This practice contravenes Section 96 of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act at 30, 1960, and the Supreme Court precedents, including one in Oko versus Republic and Matipebu versus Attorney General number 2, which affirmed that bail should not be punitive or withheld merely as a punishment, and that bail condition must not be unreasonable or onerous so as to amount to a constructive refusal to grant it.
Well, let's do more on this particular development. My colleague Kenneth Gyasi was at the presser and joins me in studio with a lot more from this particular news conference. Kenneth, what else did Justin say?
Well, they also talked about the raging debate on illegal mining, commonly known as galamsey, which they accused the governing NDC of worsening galamsey during this regime, even than under the 8-year rule of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration.
If you take away these media trials going on, let's turn our attention to galamsey. We have a government which came into power on the strength of coming to fight galamsey, which to them the MPP administration failed to tackle. You will recall that during His Excellency Nadankwa administration, we reached out to our friends, then opposition party NDC, that let's all sit together as one people. Let's have a clearly defined roadmap, devoid of politics, to fight this galamsey menace. In the words of the NDC, they said they are not in government. It is we, the MPP, who have voted for. And we have the state security, we have the state institutions to fight galamsey. And we should fight galamsey. And they have no role to play. The table has turned. The NDC is in government now. They have state security. They have state institutions. They have overwhelming support, even from the judiciary. But what is the state of galamsey in our country now? And any reasonable person in this country will know that the state of galamsey is even worse than it was in the NPP administration. And it is clear that galamsey has become worse under this administration because we have members of parliament who belong to the NDC. We have national officers from the NDC through to the region, to the constituencies, and even their branch who are involved in galamsey.
So that was the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Justin Kojo Frimpong there, explaining why in the estimation of the NPP, they feel the NDC government is witch-hunting members and loyalists of the opposition NPP. This is Top Story, always brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies, holy insecticide spray and coil, enjoy a holy sleep, and also by Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you. So we'll delve into this particular matter to understand whether or not, our government also sees or see this particular accusation by the opposition MPP, and for the MPP to also explain why they feel government is witch hunting when, what government is doing is following the laid down legal procedures. We'll delve deeper into all of this here on Top Story to understand, but just a bit around this particular one. They talk about detention of their party people. You will recall Chairman Woon to me, case once is related to Galamsey. You recall that one. Let me bring in Richard Anyaba, who is Director of Communication of the New Patriotic Party. Richard, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Now, what the government is doing is to follow what the law says it should do. Why describe, a legal procedure as witch hunt? Hello, Mr. Ayaba, do I have you? Hello, Richard. Well, we have Richard Anyaba on the line. I'm trying to see if he can hear me. Richard, do I still have you on the line? Well, we'll try and rectify the line so we can bring him in to understand, a bit more better the perspective of the NPP on the accusations that the NDC government, led by President John Dramani Mahama, is engaging in what they call witch hunt. We'll also be hearing from government as well in response to the accusations by the NPP. Richard, I'm grateful to you. Do I have you?
Yes, Bruce, I can hear you, but you are very faint.
Okay, is it okay now?
Let's start and see.
Okay, I wanted to find out why you are describing legal procedures as witch hunt.
Bruce, if it is not witch hunt, I don't think we've called it that much, but we're just saying that the law is being applied unevenly. And that's something that should concern all of us. Our constitution requires that we're all equal before the law. The president, everybody, as a citizen, we're all equal before the law. So to the extent that others are treated different, others are treated worse, and others relatively better, it should be concerning. And that indicates a certain targeting which the law does not permit. So that's what we're describing.
What is
And
making
that's what we're
you
concerned about.
what is making you feel that the law is being applied unevenly? What circumstances are you comparing?
Well, Bruce, you know that when the president came in, one of the few things that his attorney general did days after taking office was to file a nolle prosequi in a case relating to NDC, our former NDC appointees, including the finance minister, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Honorable Collins Dauda, and many others. They were let go because for them, the law should not hold them accountable. But when it comes to people who are part of the New Patriotic Party administration, for them, the law should deal with them without reference to due process. Okay, and that's a clear case of unequal application of the law. And I don't need to explain it, but just to paint a picture for you, which is factual. What has happened is what we're comparing and seeing that the unevenness of the application of the law is an affront to our democracy, is offensive to our sensibilities as a people. It is wrong for a democracy to operate like that. So we're just describing what we're seeing, and you should join in letting the government understand that this democracy would outlive them. They have just come to continue a process that was started in 1992. They shouldn't come and thwart it. They shouldn't come and disfigure it. They shouldn't come and mess it up. This democracy is not for the NDC. It's not for the NPP. It's for the people of Ghana. They are here to hold in trust for the people of Ghana the power that is vested in us as citizens. They have taken the power and they are using it for their own, they're applying it for their pleasure and not for the pleasure of the people of this country. That's a problem. That's something you should speak against, not only us. We are just leading the conversation because we have committed ourselves to a democratic process, and that's what we will continue to defend. We'll need you, the media, to join us so that we can nip this in the bud before it becomes something even more obvious.
But aren't these cases different in terms of comparing the cases under which the AAG filed nolle prosequi? Because that case traveled for 8 years under your regime. There was no end. I'm not saying that is why they did, but that happened. And you're comparing it to the allegations of corruption that they've taken people to court for, the Galamsey issues. I mean, are these issues that you can really do comparisons on for you to arrive at the conclusion that government is applying the law unevenly?
Undergirding any judicial process is due process. Due process is demanding, is elaborate, is meticulous, is time consuming. It is why you say the wheels of justice grind slowly. It's because you have to observe due process. So it's not a question of time. If you can deal with a case expeditiously, do so, but it is not at the detriment of due process. So a case may have traveled 8 years, fair enough. It is because we are allowing due process to work. But the point is that accountability must be accounted for. People must account for their conduct in office. But it shouldn't be at the expense of due process. So yes, if the cases have traveled under us for 8 years, it is because we are according due process to the people. We could summarily have convicted people. Would that be legal? Would that be fair? No. So if the NEC government has come and they have a certain desire to be expeditious about court cases, fine. But it doesn't mean that they should set aside due process and then just treat people unequally. So if it's 8 years, then they should try and, or instead of filing nolle prosequi, be expeditious about it and deal with the case in court. Because Ghanaians still need accountability. Today, Saglemi is still hanging out there because some people who signed the contract and dispense of $200 million have not accounted for it. So we have a problem. Okay, so the issue is not how long the issue takes. The issue is ultimately we must have people be accountable. So if it's 8 years and you want to do it faster, do it. But don't clear your people and turn around and deny people due process and drop them as though they are common criminals when no court has proven them guilty. Today I was in your studio and your host was giving an example citing what Attorney General has said Gifty Wari has done, what Attorney General said SCB has done, what Attorney General said Abdul Hanan has done, as though that what Attorney General said is factual. It's his view, it's his research. That is not a fact of the matter to suggest that they are guilty. Okay, but this is what is happening in our country. That perception is sinking. People are thinking that these people are criminals already. But the law presumes everybody innocent. And if today is happening to Gifty and we are quiet, it's happening to Hanan and we are quiet, tomorrow the people will be emboldened to do that tomorrow. And so when the NDC they are charting this path,
okay,
and other people find it convenient tomorrow to do it, and they're also convicting people summarily because they feel they have the platform to do it. You know what we are doing?
Okay.
We are destroying our democracy.
All right, Richard, do stay with me. Let me bring in the Minister of State in charge of government communication, Felix Kwacho Fosu. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us here. How is government reacting to these accusations leveled against you by the opposition MPP that you are applying the laws unevenly? Hello, Mr. Kwacho Fosu.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, sir.
Well, the MPP are huffing and puffing. They are not happy that their misdeeds and corruption and corrupt practices was in government are coming to light. They are unhappy that the government of Ghana is implementing the Operation Recover All Loot, which is a policy that we canvassed before the people of Ghana. And through that, we will be able to hold them to account. They are unhappy about that. They think that by holding them to account, they will be exposed for the people of Ghana to see that they were not trustworthy and that they abused the mandate and resources that they gave to them. That is the only reason why they are saying the things they are saying. Otherwise, it is difficult to decipher how anybody can be opposed to a process that involves holding public officials to account. Now, when the NPP was in power, there's a tall list of people that they took through the same process that we are taking them through. When Godfrey Dami was Attorney General, he appeared on your station and labeled President Mahama Government Official 1. When Godfrey Dami did that, had he convicted President Mahama publicly? We were in this country when the NPP composed songs about Woyomi and sang it on media networks for about 2 to 3 years. Every single day, they mentioned Woyomi's name in relation to corruption. When they did that, had they convicted Woyomi publicly? We were in this country when the NPP took Dr. Opuni, Honorable Dr. Ato Forsen, Seydou Agongo, Collins Dowda, and co. to court for alleged corrupt offenses. When they did that, were they applying the laws unevenly? Let them show me which NPP person they took to court in all the years that they were in power. So these are misguided claims that are not borne out by the facts. The truth is that Ghanaians came to a conclusion in 2024 that the NPP had mismanaged their finances and that corruption had become pervasive. So they demanded action from the various political parties that were vying for their votes. we in the NDC promised that we will implement a policy called Operation Recover All Loot, which involves holding to account persons who may have acted in ways that border on corruption. And that is precisely what we have done. Again, the Attorney General, whose name they like to mention and create the impression that he has done something out of the ordinary, has only said that based on investigations, I have found evidence that suggests that Mr. A or Mrs. B has done A, B, C, D, which is against the law. Because of that, on this day, I am taking the person to court. This is standard practice. By doing so, the Attorney General does not convict anybody. It is the reason why after the Attorney General speaks, nobody goes to prison unless they go through due process in court, where the accused persons are given opportunity to mount a defense. If the court finds that the defense is satisfactory or that the Attorney General has not been able to prove the alleged corruption, the people will walk, as has been the case before in this our country. So the noises that the MPP are making are only designed to stop government from doing the things that meet with the expectation of the people of Ghana, which is that persons who have mismanaged the nation's finances, caused loss, or acted in ways that border on corruption are held to account and nothing more.
But and don't they have a point when they say, for example, Chairman Wontimi was granted a 1.5 million, 15 million cedis bail for Galamsey activities, alleged Galamsey activities. Then the MP for Esitufi North, who is also being interrogated or being charged for Galamsey activities, allegedly, has been granted to a bail of 150,000 cedis. And don't they have a point when they say then that is an uneven
First of all, what is
the
the basis for that claim? The MP has not been charged for involvement in Galamsey. He has been charged because he is alleged to have led some youth to obstruct justice, which is the lawful arrest of persons believed to be engaged in Galamsey. So it is important that you do not misinform the public. Nobody has said anywhere that this MP is engaged in Galamsey, unless, of course, some evidence comes to light.
Nobody has said so.
So again, you cannot say that for different offences, the same bail application should apply. It will simply not make sense. When you are charged for disorderly conduct, the conditions you are given for bail will not be the same as that of an armed robber. In the case of the MPP, many of the people who have been charged for corruption, in other words, stealing public funds. And therefore, the bail is pegged at an amount that covers the amounts involved in the offenses that they've been charged with, so that they do not escape justice. They do not evade justice or become fugitives. That is what that has happened. For sometimes, the MPP's logic is questionable. Their penchant to mix up issues, double in political obfuscation, and illogical argument must be condemned for what it is. How do you see that somebody who is accused of being part of the theft of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis to have the same bail conditions as someone who is said to have obstructed justice? How can you make such an argument?
Okay.
And how does a whole political party organize a press conference and say this and expect to be taken seriously?
No, but and then again, when the Attorney General gives update on cases that it is prosecuting or investigating, and does not give an update on what is happening to the investigations into the allegations concerning your second national vice chairman, Abanga and Joseph Yamin,
again,
for their alleged involvement in
don't encourage MPP logicality.
No.
When the Attorney General came to the event involving CSOs, he gave an update. He told you that even more allegations have been made against the two individuals, so he's looking into it. It is not all the 280 cases that the Attorney General is investigating that he has given an update on. Has the Attorney General given an update on the mathematical set issue? Has he given an update on the Wi-Fi issue? Has he given an update on the National Cathedral issue, for instance? So where from this claim of selectivity?
But to be fair,
how can you say that because the Attorney General has not given another update on the Abanga and Yamin investigation, there is selectivity? There's no basis for it. What they are doing is that they are clutching at straw, making illogical arguments in order to create the impression that they are saying something that is sound. If they believe they are innocent, they should not be worried about what anybody says. When did the MPP become sensitive to allegations that are made? As I told you before, was he not the communications director of the MPP when they went on TV and labeled President Mama government official one? When they did that to President Mama, were they declared him guilty? Okay. Or President Mama did not have blood flowing through his veins? Why do they expect different treatment? from what they did to others.
Okay.
And how do you then say that because the Attorney General has not given an update on every case, he should not give an update on some cases? Where does that logic tell you?
Okay, I'm grateful to you, Mr. Minister, for your time here on the show. Richard, you have your response from the government. So you cannot describe that as an uneven application of the law because the cases differ from each other.
Bruce, the arrogance in Phyllis's voice is shocking. They've just been in government for how many days, and they can't tolerate dissent already. He is citing Wontumi. Why don't you remind him of the crimes involving the finance minister, the allegations, the what he was in court for? Why didn't you remind him of Honorable Collins Dowda? Is that also peanuts? Is that comparable to the allegation that he says is not egregious in the case of the MP? But who makes Felix the person to determine, okay, the value of a case and which one should attract more bail and which one shouldn't? They are simply creating two Ghana for us. One Ghana for the NDC, the other Ghana for all of us. They don't believe that we should, all of us Ghanaians left apart from them and their special group of people, should enjoy due process. Everything Felix is telling you is just to run roughshod over the argument and say it's illogical, it is this, it is that. Simply what we're saying is that the law provides for people's presumption of innocence. Felix did not dispute
but he says the pronouncement of the AG, as you did in Government Official 1, does not mean that the person has been, judged upon to say he is found guilty of the issue he's been accused of.
Go to the court of public opinion, okay? Go there. Go on social media and see how people are referring to Gift Yowari. See how people are referring to Osei Sibe. See how people are referring to Abdul Hanan. And come back and tell me that people don't feel that they are guilty already. But is that supposed to be the case? No. A court must pronounce you guilty. But yeah, what we have now is Attorney General pronouncing people guilty. And in the court of public opinion, people think that they are guilty already. Okay. And Phyllis tell you, just to conclude, Phyllis tell you that, Attorney General is not providing update on all the cases. How convenient. Why is he not providing update at least on one of the NDC cases? And everything is providing update on is on the MPP. Okay, you should tell us what is happening in the case of the what is the name? The national organizer. What is happening there? What is the update there? You understand? He's not providing that, but he's conveniently chosen a group of people to affirm the position we are saying that the law is being applied in an uneven way. That is the case. The president has removed the Supreme Court justice. He is now the supreme leader. He does whatever he wants in the court now. The Chief Justice case for judicial review cannot be heard.
All right. I'm grateful.
It cannot be heard.
I'm grateful, Richard. So what do you intend to do as a party beyond the press conference?
Well, the only thing we have to do is to have democracy work, to mobilize public conscience against what they are doing, and to press on to say that we have a constitution and that constitution must work. That's the only power democracy has given us as a people, a recourse against a tyrannical majority. What we have now is a tyrannical majority. They feel they have overwhelming majority in parliament. They have the executive, and they have now removed the Chief Justice, and so therefore the judiciary has been completely undermined, and so therefore they run this country. We will use democracy as our recourse. We'll continue to press our demands as we should in a democracy, and we believe that the collective conscience of Ghanaians will arise one of these days, and this tyranny will end.
I'm grateful to you. Richard Anyaba is Director of Communications of the New Patriotic Party, and that has been Top Story brought to you by Telecel Connect and Energy's Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil Enjoy, Holy Sleep, and also by Shield Pension Trust into the future with you. My name is Samuel Brace. Up next is Newsnight.
Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to News Night. Well, coming up tonight, the heat is on the NDC to launch its own investigation into allegations against one of its MPs who is accused of inciting a mob that attacked officers of National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat.
Your national executive.
The party is the same.
Led by your chairman.
The party is the
he should
same
issue a statement and actually call for the investigations to be expedited.
No.
We have details as a minority in parliament is vowing to keep the pressure on both the government and the police to ensure the matter is thoroughly investigated and justice served.
We will go from tomorrow asking the police how far they've gone with the investigation and what charges have been leveled against, and equal and fair treatment.
Also tonight, Parliament erupts as minority and majority engage in blames over Galamsey.
You say you know the people who are the pickings, who are the people funding Galamsey. Go and arrest them. Why are you not arresting them?
I believe that it is time for us indeed to take a decisive action in dealing with this menace.
We have details.
Also coming up, we'll tell you about some Chinese nationals who have locked themselves up in a warehouse at Anyang Kwanta in the Ashanti region to resist inspection by officers from the Environmental Protection Authority.
This is also one of the warehouses on the Anyang Kwanta stretch. It's the second that the EPA has shut down today. A lot of food pipes and others are all in here.
And in our Dear Mahama series, we'll tell you about Winnipeg's tainted tap water and the health threats to the public.
Some of us will have to resort into going to fetch water from the sea. I mean, the salt water.
You pledge, say if you call, you will stop Galamsey. But now, it's almost 8 months, 9 months now.
We have more in our continuing series, Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey. Coming up in business.
Government consolidates single-digit inflation recorded earlier this year with the rate reaching 8% for the month of October.
And in sports,
Ghana Boxing IMC to lift suspension on professional boxing after approving new medical and safety protocols.
Also coming up tonight, former GRA boss banned from holding any public office for 5 years after Shraj found him guilty of procurement breaches and corruption-related offences that caused the state a financial loss of almost 9 million Ghana cedis. We'll bring you details. And we have details of these and many other stories coming up in the next 1 hour. You can be a part of this show by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Pale Ofori.
Details shortly.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter, Angela.
Kojo, why? Tea cash naba. No papa
Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash. And to the suppliers at my shop.
Hello, sir. Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly, and send Telecel Cash for free to my dear ones.
We keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Make free Telecel Cash transactions every day, anytime. From your Telecel Cash wallet to your loved one's Telecel Cash wallet. Save on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. Me I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me dana mada with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Dana kron kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
No. You look so relaxed and cheerful these days. What's your secret?
No secret, Kofi. I just sorted out my retirement with Shield Pension Trust. You should talk to them.
Retirement? There's more time before pension.
Share. The earlier you start, the better. And Shield Pension Trust makes this so easy for you. They've got amazing plans to choose from. I even signed up for the Shield CD Crow a Day personal pension scheme, which lets you save as little as 1 Ghana CD a day towards your retirement. Isn't that great?
1 CD a day.
Exactly. And the best part is, I sign up automatically on the Dacia Pomodin plan, which guarantees me medical insurance when I go on retirement.
Hey, you've convinced me. I need to sign up now.
Kofi is making a move to secure his future and health insurance when he goes on retirement. What about you? Go to Shield Pension Trust or call us now on 050-915-0253 and we'll guide you through securing your pension tomorrow. Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
No matter where we are, Africa always calls us home. And here in Ghana, the call is clear: to power growth and create lasting impact. At Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, we are creating giants and connecting businesses. From financing bold energy projects to enabling cleaner, reliable power for industries, we are fueling Ghana's transformation. With our support, Gensa Energy is delivering sustainable energy that powers Goldfields operations, helping them move closer to cleaner, greener mining. This is a story of how we bring businesses together, create jobs, empower communities, and invest in the next generation. Stanbic Bank, delivering sustainable growth, creating impact. To learn more, visit stanbicbank.com.gh.
And you're welcome back to Newsnight. Tonight, pressure is mounting on the governing National Democratic Congress to launch its own internal investigations into allegations that one of its members of parliament, Esutefi North MP Ebenezer Kweku-Addo, played a role in inciting a mob that attacked officials of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, during a field operation in the Ahafo region.
The call comes after a police statement named the Esutefi North MP as a key figure in the violent incident. Member of the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining, Senyo Hosi, says it is not enough for the police to drag him to court. He says the NDC must condemn the MP and also commence disciplinary processes against him.
That is why you should initiate your own internal investigations as well. Because wrongdoing is not necessarily illegal doing. Illegality.
The matter has already been dealt with at the very highest echelon. And so that I'm sure you agree with me.
My brother, your party should take a serious exception to it. Send a signal to your membership. And I want to see a statement from your national executives.
The party is the same.
Led by your chairman.
The party is the
same. He should issue a statement and actually call for the investigations to be expedited. Put your voice inside the matter and let him know. Beyond that, you will take action on the guy. But the only thing I heard is 150,000 bill that they give the man. That one day I don't agree, but I can't blame GM for it. It's the cost that we have to deal with. But I don't agree at all. To me, we put 50 million cedis on it. Say, look at the amounts of money that we are putting on people's heads. Somebody has done a thing like this. The kingpin that the president has been talking about, here are your kingpins. Because, my brother, you sat here with me the last time. Yeah. You saw the data. People are eating poison. Look at the water that people are living with. Look, we must have people with a heart. And these are the people sitting in parliament. When I tell you that Galamseyers have captured our parliament in many ways, you think I'm lying.
Well, Senyo Hosi is also calling on President John Dramani Mahama to ensure the process is transparent.
Moma JMO say o say niwa Moma JMO say o. Now we have a head of state, not a ceremonial president. We have a real president. He's showing his power, and this is what we expect of proper leadership. As for that man, I don't want to see. Don't put him on his screen. It's not even worth your screen. You can write his statement. Don't put his picture on your screen. We all vex. What is this? I'm so impressed by the swiftness of His Excellency the President. When you defy his men,
who are at the forefront of the most important fight of this country. You are defying the directives of the commander-in-chief of this country. So I was waiting to see. After today, I would have been able to tell whether we have a president or we don't. And he has saved that office by his act. This is a form of leadership we've always been looking for. And I hope that this will not just be one flash in the pan, but this will actually be the pan itself. And everybody will realize that for Galamsey, there's no tolerance for nonsense. You have to sack that guy from your party. That guy must be moved from the party.
And Deputy CEO of the Forestry Commission and spokesperson for NIMOS, Elikem Kotoko, says NIMOS confirmed Ebenezer Kwekuado brought some men to the police station.
This whole scenario, it's something that definitely was not anticipated, though, but incidents of this nature are things that we are fighting. And after the whatever happened, I have had a few engagements with the team, and even specifically with Colonel Boer.
Okay.
And he didn't mince words. He said, bro, it was just the mercy of God. So this was what happened. And when I heard of the incident, in fact, let me state here, Honorable Comrade Ebenezado is a very good friend. And so I do not know what exactly warranted the continuous narrative of what we're told transpired. And I find it to be unacceptable. And so, well, fortunately, I am happy with the swiftness of how matters are going.
But
I must say,
your kennel, I mean, say your kennel, but I mean, you work together. I mean, the NIMOS chief.
Yeah.
He confirmed that it was Ebenezer Ado. Yeah. He confirmed that it was Ebenezer Ado who led the mob.
That he didn't mince words with that. He said so, that he came with a certain number of those people. And that gave the other people some charge. They felt also, okay, all right, then let's... And so I believe
Did he say that he came in with intention to get the mob to stop them from doing their work?
I want that...
Because he seemed to suggest
yes.
that, and again, he brings in Collins Dada's name.
Yes.
That Collins Dada had called him to get him to talk to the commander about something, right?
Yes.
Collins Dada had denied that, by the way.
Yes.
This was said on the floor, so the floor is the Parliament's House of Records.
Yeah.
What was his narration again exactly to you?
The narration was that, introducing yourself, I'm the Member of Parliament for so and so.
So he introduced himself?
This is the constituency of so and so, and he's on the phone and would want to say a word or something. And Colonel Boer said, in the line of duty, there was no need to talk to any other.
Well, the minority in Parliament, despite welcoming the prosecution of the MP, believe that it may be a smokescreen. Deputy Ranking Member on the Land Committee in Parliament, Akwesi Kunedu, said the minority will be vigilant.
Even if you want to take your mind, all of these things are being done in some sort of swiftness. I use in quotation of swiftness because you talked about the Yamin Abanga case, and now you're having this as a small screen to take away civil society and the clarion call by Ghanaians about the state of emergency. He talked about the last 8 years, we are not seeing this. The amount and the magnitude of destruction now under 8 months or 10 months is so devastating that people continuously call for a state of emergency. So all of these things are swiftly being done to divert our attention from the destruction. Oh, immediately that we recalled it. He was taken to court. He was given bail. So all our attention will be on that. But the destruction is still ongoing. Why would that number of people amass at a police station in their 100, 600? And we are here talking about calling somebody names to put his presidency on the line, and that, and that, and that.
Now, join us via telephone is Dr. Kenneth Ashibeda, CEO. He's the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. Good evening and thank you for your time on Newsnight. First of all, I'd like to get your reaction to all that has happened and how it's being handled.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's important to note that any attack on the officers of state is completely not a good thing to be happening in our country, Ghana. And definitely the actions that have been taken so far are the actions in the right direction. I have a personal relationship with Kenneth Boer, and what Kenneth Boer tells me is what was in the statement of NIMOS definitely is the truth. And we need to get to the bottom of that. Beyond the MP involved, we have video footage of people who were also involved in the crime that had been committed. We also to be asking for all those people who were arrested by Tenobua and his team to be rearrested. All those evidence that were collected needs to be collected back, and we need to ensure that that cyanide processing plant is closed permanently. And we need to make sure that everybody who is responsible for this act is dealt with as swiftly as possible. The state cannot be seen to be weak in the face of the face of criminality from this particular mob.
Engineer Ashigbe, you are a leading voice against illegal mining in Ghana. Now, what does this incident say, of course, about political interference that continues to undermine the fight against the menace?
Well, again, that's the elephant in the room, and that's the thing that some of us have been saying, that the firefighters are the arsonists themselves. And it's the reason why, for me, I was happy with the statement issued not only by the police, by the Minister for Land and Natural Resources, and the fact that the IGP has been swift in all of this. We need to deal with the politically exposed persons who are involved in this and show to people that there's nobody above the law so far as our country, Ghana, is concerned.
And do you also support calls for the NDC to launch its own investigations into this incident?
Well, if you look at the petition, the press statement that has been issued by the coalition, we are asking the commander-in-chief, the president of the country, to launch an independent investigation into the case and ensure that we deal with this as swiftly as possible. And so for us, that's the most important thing. It is not, when it comes to governance, it's not a party in power that is in control. It is the president who is the president for all of us, citizens, who should be in charge. And so we would be expecting His Excellency working together with his ministers to ensure that we get to the bottom of it.
Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, CEO of Ghana Chamber of Mines, and he's also the convener for the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining. Thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Let's still stay on this conversation and bring in Mustafa Bande, who's the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, and also Haruna Mohammed, who's the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP. I'll begin with you, Mr. Mohammed. Grateful for your time this evening. The New Patriotic Party has not really gone heavy on this particular issue about the MPP's alleged involvement in Galamsey. As a party, how do you respond to this?
Thank you. I've not heard your question. MPP in what?
We've not seen MPP as a party go heavy on this particular subject, and I want to pick your thoughts as a party. What really do you make of this?
Thank you. I think that we have left the NDC to the people of Ghana. They deceived and played on the emotions of the people of Ghana. They lied their way through to power. They played on the sensitivity of the people of Ghana and used the Galamsey as one of the backups to get into government. And today, everybody is seeing them. They are national officers, including my brother, Mustafa Bandi, who has been heard on tape, talking about their party has come to power and they are taking the concessions and giving to the members of the NDC. Today, one of their MPs have become commander-in-chief of the Ghana forces because he's instructing and attacking the army who are doing the work in the field. This is where we have gotten to. He's not the only MP. Another MP in the Western North was also caught. Other party persons who have been involved in this, even up to the point that the Attorney General has to name the national organizer and the one of the vice chairman of the NDC. So that is what we have met as a nation. Today we had the opportunity to speak on that matter. The General Secretary indicated how Galamsey has worsened under the NDC administration, and everybody is seeing this. I'm very happy that we are discussing this matter on multimedia platform, where Erastus Sassari is making a lot of inroads in reporting what is happening in there. As for the NDC, the less you talk about them, the better. And that is why we don't want to waste our time and energy. Ghanaians will definitely see them. And that is what they are doing. That is their stock in trade. All of them. That is what they do. The president himself, in Meet the Press, has told everybody, made us all aware
that the money that they are getting at Gold Board include that of the Galamsey. If you have labor, child labor, doing work, and the child labor produces or raises productivity, and you want to claim and says that, even though it is wrong, child labor is involved, but productivity is high. Do you think about this particular logic? Something that is illegal, no matter how you raise funds or you get productivity out of that. But the president was applauding that, yes, it has helped them, and this is what they have gained. So the NDC will definitely spoil this nation. They will bring down everything. Look at the number of excavators that are coming into this country. Look at the number of excavators. Today, they have disbanded the group that is doing it, the police that were doing that particular work. And now NIMOS is there, and the NDC MPs can order attack on them. And then the only thing that the court can do is to give a bail condition of 150,000. If a court can give a condition or a sanction of 6,000 to people who have gone to cause mayhem in Ablekumanov, and that court can do the same thing to NDC MP of 150,000, that tells you what this country is all about now.
Now, Mr. Haruna Mohammed, there are calls that the NDC should also launch its independent investigation into the matter. I'm curious to know, how would an MPP government have handled this? MPP as a party, assuming that you were in office and one of your MPs was alleged to have done this, how would your party have handled this?
First and foremost, our MP, none of our MPs will accept to do what they have done. So I don't think that we would have even met such a situation. We have not trained any of our MPs to behave that way. So for me to even assume that our MP or an MP from the MPP would do that, it would be an insult to the integrity of the New Patriotic Party. I don't think that any member of our parliament will engage in such an activity. And even providing solution for it and using the if condition is an insult to the integrity of our membership. And I don't think that this thing would have happened to us. These people have been emboldened. The NDC have been emboldened because of the number of votes that they have gotten. They want to misbehave. Look at what they are doing. They are forgetting that they will leave power. Even 100 years, they will leave power. And they will be chased. They will be used because crime has no expiry date. And that is what we are going to live with for the next 4 years. Ghanaians should know that this is how we are going to engage ourselves with the NDC for the next 4 good years. That's what the NDC will be doing.
Haruna Mohammed, thank you very much. That's the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, Pearl.
And we'll stay a while longer on illegal mining because NDC and NPP MPs have traded blames over which party fueled illegal mining the most. Delivered a statement on the Galamsey menace, NPP MP for Menchia North and former Deputy Lands Minister accused the government of doing little to deal with Galamsey despite its many promises while in opposition.
Mr. Speaker, Galamsey is not simply an environmental issue. It is a national security threat. It fuels local conflict, deepens poverty, and exposes our youth to preventable death. In light of this, the Mahama-led government should leverage real-time surveillance through technology and satellite imagery, anchored in the visionary digitalization agenda of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to enhance monitoring of high-risk mining zones and enable swift response to emerging illegal activities. The digitalized infrastructure, once mocked and misunderstood by our opponents, now presents a strategic tool to combat the Galamsey menace with precision, transparency, and accountability. Furthermore, Right Honorable Speaker, the government should revitalize and invest in community-based mining cooperatives, not only name-changing them, established under the previous government, and bring them under robust regulatory framework that enforces strict environmental and safety standards. These cooperatives must serve as legal, safe, and economically viable alternative to illegal mining, especially for the youth and rural populations who are more vulnerable to exploitation in the Galamsey economy. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, every Ghanaian life matters. We cannot continue to treat death from Galamsey pit as collateral damage. These are accidents that are avoidable tragedies resulting from policy gap, institutional inertia, and sometimes deliberate neglect. Let's be bold and act now. The cost of inaction is not just economical, it is a human tragedy.
And resident correspondent in Parliament, Kweku Asante, joins us in studio with more. Kweku, this statement was open for comments but turned into a debate. Tell us about the minority's stance.
Well, the former Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwu, tore into the government. He said that while the NDC were campaigning in the 2024 election campaign period, they promised to go after so-called kingpins, but they haven't been able to do so. And so the NDC should show which kingpins they've arrested instead of their MPs going on rampage.
Youth are being destroyed because of Galamsey. And what is painful is that somebody will have his cocoa farm. Minerals Commission will sit in Accra and issue permits, and they'll go and destroy the cocoa farms. The former speaker, Joe Sewusu, you can find out from him. His own farm, he cannot visit that farm, cocoa farm, because Galamsey just invaded the whole place and took over. And that is what, if they can do that to a former speaker, what about the ordinary farmer in the village?
When have they done that to Joe Sewusu?
They seized his farm.
When?
They seized his farm last month. And they seized it last month. He told me that from September, October, the Galamsey seized his farm. But Mr. Speaker, all I'm saying is that our land is being destroyed, the livelihood is being destroyed, and we moved with force to go and stop them. If you continue sending just 2, 3, 4, 5 soldiers onto the field, you are putting their life at risk. I never sent any group of soldiers less than 100 to go and fight Galamsey. Never. Because I know that what happened at Asutufin North can happen to them. Can you imagine if a soldier was killed? What would have happened in Asutufin North? So I'm advising government, ban all surface mining for 1 year like we did. Have a grip. And the state of emergency you ask for, declare state of emergency. But I will not even ask for it. But I'm saying it's very easy to ban all surface mining for 1 year. We did it. You can do it. 2, you say you know the people who are the pickings, who are the people funding Galamsey. Go and arrest them. Why are you not arresting them? Why are you not arresting those people? So, Mr. Speaker.
So, Kweku, that's the former Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwu, and obviously there was a response from the majority side of the House as well.
Well, yes, there were a lot of fiery responses, some of them calling him out and alleging that he was being a hypocrite, and that he spent time in the Defense Ministry. He could not deal with the matter of illegal mining. MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Susu, attempted to dial down the temperature in the House a little bit because both MPs, both sides were firing on all cylinders, and so he sought to calm things down. In his view, the government of the day, John Dramani Mohammed's government, has done enough and a lot to deal with illegal mining. Of course, there's still a lot to be done, but that the MPP cannot claim that the current NDC government have abandoned the fight.
Because I have always argued that when we fail on the fight against Galamsey, we will be failing the next generation, the generation yet unborn. Because, Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the rules of intergenerational equity, every generation must use the natural resources that are available to them in a way that you can guarantee its usage in the future. Unfortunately, that's not what we are seeing today. People are hell-bent on destroying our water bodies and destroying our natural environment for their own parochial interest. Mr. Speaker, this cannot continue. The number of deaths and accidents that are associated with this illegal mining sometimes are very alarming. The numbers that we have here are those that were reported. Those that are not reported, when the pits cave in and so on and so forth, are much more. And so, Mr. Speaker, I believe that it is time for us indeed to take a decisive action in dealing with this menace. Mr. Speaker, and that is why I want to commend government for the effort made so far, even though I believe that more must be done again, Mr. Speaker, to bring this under control.
Now, tonight, former GRA Commissioner General Reverend Amishadai Owusu-Amwa has been banned from holding any public office for 5 years. This comes on the back of a Shraj investigative report that found him guilty of procurement breaches and corruption-related offences that caused the state a financial loss of almost 9 million cedis. The Commission's report, following a 2022 petition by pressure group Movement for Truth and Accountability, reviews that the former GRA board supervised the award of questionable contracts to 3 companies: Rona Motors Ghana Limited, Talino Ghana Limited, and Sajel Motors and Trading Company Limited for the supply of vehicles and logistics to the authority. Head of Research at Joy News, Isaac Ofieje, has been providing more details.
This was a contract that was awarded on the 1st of October 2021. According to Shraj's report, the GRA employed, and I quote, the single source procurement method in the award of the said contract, contrary to the claims of the allegation that the authority deployed the restrictive tender method. So here, Shraj is saying that there was a sole source instead of what the authority said they did, the restricted tender, method. And that was one of the key findings of Shraj. And so the method involved, there was some contradiction in terms of what the authorities had told Shraj and what Shraj's own, investigation had pointed out to. And in fact, quote, the respondents here, Shraj means the former boss of the GRA, Reverend Amishadai Owusu, misled the PPA in approving the request of the GRA to award the contract to the said companies using single source procurement method in dubious circumstances. And according to, Shraj, the award of the contract was in breach of some provisions of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, as amended. And Shraj says that the companies involved were unable to duly fulfill their contractual, obligations.
Let's go on to the telephone lines and have a conversation on the back of this. And we have Michael Bwedi, who is the fundraising manager at Transparency International Ghana. Glad you could join us tonight. Tell us the significance this ruling is to Ghana's fight against corruption and ultimate abuse of public office.
Yes, good evening, Evans.
This is Kenneth,
I would
by the
beg of
way.
you if you could speak a bit loudly, because I am far away in Sunyani, so I don't know whether it's the reception.
Okay, that's fine. This is Kenneth, by the way. I was asking the significance of this ruling to Ghana's broader fight against corruption and the ultimate abuse of public office.
Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, I'm saying that I'm asking the significance of this to Ghana's broader fight against corruption and the abuse of public office.
Well, I think that it is a huge milestone. It is signifying that you cannot escape accountability irrespective of how much time that passes. So I believe that what Shraj has done today, but let me start by also congratulating those who filed the petition. Is that the Movement for Truth or so? I think that we need a lot more of this public-spirited advocacy or demand for accountability. And Shraj has also demonstrated that, yes, they have the capacity and the zeal to exact or demand accountability from every public official.
And does the 5-year ban send a strong enough signal or deterrent message to public officials?
In public office.
I was asking if the 5-year ban send a strong enough deterrent message to public officials. Is it enough?
Well, I don't think it is not enough. But you see, the Shraj's orders are usually administrative.
Okay.
I am hoping that Shraj will not leave it there, but will forward the report to the Attorney General for the Attorney General to initiate prosecution if they because I haven't read the report, I'm using if a it is established that the infractions borders on corruption and abuse of office.
Michael Buodi, thank you very much. He's the fundraising manager at Transparency International Ghana. And that takes us to business. And George Riafe is joining us in the studio with the latest. George, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, coming up, government consolidates single-digit inflation gains recorded earlier this year as October rate slows further to 8%. And Bank of Ghana's gold reserves hit 38.04 tons for October this year as the price of the commodity continues to reach record levels, supporting the huge dollar intervention for the city's record appreciation against the dollar. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business interstanks and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal.
Ah, Ma, have you received the delivery?
Sis, Yana Riders Bay. Send in a momo.
Okay, *176.
Ah, Paco. Don't you use a smartphone? Use a momo app, ne?
Huh? Aba app.
Hey, I want to say a millennium, say millennial. Inyim. Oh, millennium for ya nyaze. Switch to the app. Oh, you're smart. And oh, you're secure.
Enter a world of possibilities with the Momo app. Pay your favorite merchant, pay utility bills, and borrow from our wide range of lending services. Move to the app side today. MTN.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office,
Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Center Point Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
At Star Oil, we believe fuel is not just a commodity, it is a lifeline. Every cedi saved at the pump is a cedi that helps a mother send her child to school. A farmer transports food to the market, or a young entrepreneur deliver their first order. Our mission is to make fuel more accessible by offering consistently competitive prices, helping ease the financial burden on Ghanaian households. In a country where transportation costs can consume nearly a third of household income, this is not just business. It's a social responsibility. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
For many years, we've been solving Ghana's water storage problems with quality tanks. Syntex tank. You know, it is strong, it's tough, and reliable. And now, we are in to solve the #1 problem when it comes to water carriage: our pipes. With the state-of-the-art machinery, Syntex is providing very strong, tough, reliable, high quality, and durable pipes at a reasonable price. This is Syntex Pipes. With Syntex Pipes, water flows wow. I mean, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. If they carry water, no wahala. With Syntex Pipe, our water problems are solved. Syntex, are you strong? Are you tough?
That's it. Brush your teeth every day.
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
Every mosquito started run away. Sasso, kum tonton preko, nani shamne die, demonstronko.
This advert is FDA approved.
Luckiest everywhere for everyone.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Welcome back to Business on News 9. Now, declining prices of some food items helped slow inflation rate to another record level for the month of October this year. There is more in this report.
Data from the Ghana Statistical Service showed for the third time this year, price of some goods and services from September to October actually dropped. This resulted in the country recording a deflation. The development was one of the major drivers behind October inflation slowing to this record level, the lowest in 4 years, and the 10th consecutive decline this year. This development means government has consolidated its single-digit rate recorded earlier this year, and the Bank of Ghana can now officially say it has met its medium-term target of 8% for inflation. It is, however, not clear for now how this will impact the next Monetary Policy Committee meeting later this month, and whether it will move to adjust its lending rate to commercial banks, which currently stands at 21.50%. The Ghana Statistical Service data also showed that inflation at the regional and other levels was also slowing. Other non-food items also went down over the 1-year period. For instance, smoked herrings and vegetable oil witnessed significant drops in prices over the period. Locally produced goods remain costlier than import in October. Local inflation fell from 10.1% in September to 8% in October, while imported inflation rose from 7.4% to 7.8%.
And that is the Business Desk report. Meanwhile, government statistician Dr. Hassan Idrisu is optimistic that the current single-digit inflation could be sustained if policymakers stick to the current fiscal consolidation program.
For 2025, government has programmed an expenditure level for the year, and that expenditure is planned in a manner that it is consistent with the overall macroeconomic framework. If government stays a course and execute its expenditures according to plan, that would not, shall I say, disturb the disinflation path we are seeing, because all of these have already been woven into the fiscal framework.
And that is the government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu. Now, Bank of Ghana's gold reserves has hit 38.04 tons ending October this year. Now, this was captured in a document issued by the central bank today. Details in this report.
The data showed that since the beginning of this year, the Bank of Ghana, through its gold purchase program, has increased its gold reserves by a little over 7 tons. Also, from October 2024 to October 2025, the Bank of Ghana's gold reserves have gone up by more than 35%. When it comes to month-on-month growth for this year, we are looking at an average of 2.2%. The gold accumulation program has played a key role in improving Ghana's international reserves and the cedi's record appreciation against the dollar this year. Gold prices have also hit record levels, resulting in the Bank of Ghana making some windfall. The development has resulted in the regulator trying to roll out a mechanism where the said access can be released to the market in terms of dollar supply. Some market analysts have already projected that gold prices will hit $5,000 by the end of this year, and that could come as a good news for the economy. This was after it almost hit $4,000 earlier this year. This is because recent World Bank data showed that Ghana's economic turnaround had been fueled by rising prices of commodities like gold. But the biggest question here is that, with rising prices of gold, should we go ahead to hedge the country's gold reserves?
And that is a Business Desk report. Now, Bank of Ghana has revealed that it will soon expand its pilot phase of its licensing passport framework to Morocco and Nigeria following a successful partnership with the Rwandan Central Bank. Now, this was disclosed by the head of FinTech at the Bank of Ghana, Kwasari. Now, speaking at the FinTech seminar, he emphasized that cross-border collaborations will position local FinTech players to tap into the continent's estimated $65 billion FinTech market.
One of our proudest milestones this year has been the development of the licensed passporting and interoperability framework in collaboration with the National Bank of Rwanda. This allows, and as I said earlier on, the potential 65 billion valuation that the fintech ecosystem will get to in 2030. Everybody will be able to have, or fintechs will be able to have, unlimited access to different markets. So the collaboration with Rwanda is just a pilot. My session that I went for, we've been discussing a collaboration between Ghana and Morocco.
And that is Kwasari. He spoke at the leading fintech seminar put together by the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems and the Bank of Ghana. Now, GAB Health Insurance is marking its 5th anniversary with a renewed focus on innovation and stronger partnership to meet the evolving healthcare needs of Ghanaians. Chief Operating Officer of the company, Isaac Obenyankson, says the company is expanding through product innovation in collaboration with key stakeholders.
In expanding your business, you should be able to address the needs of the market you are serving. So we intend to expand through our product innovation, looking at the specific segments within our markets, what their very needs are, and coming up with solutions that speak specifically to their needs. We're also looking at partnership with key stakeholders in the industry, particularly healthcare providers. And so that has been at the heart of what we've been doing. So
Isaac Obenyankson is Chief Operations Officer for GAB Health Insurance. Now, GCB Bank PLC has unveiled the Amber Club, an exclusive customer engagement platform designed to reward long-term loyalty and deliver personalized banking experience. Chief Marketing, Communications and Customer Experience Officer at the bank, Cynthia Ofori, said the launch of this club marks a new era of the bank's efforts to enhance customer engagement.
We've had an amazing night engaging with our top tier clients. It's really been a night about rewarding partnership and long-term loyalty. We launched tonight the Amber Club, which is our one platform for really just curating specialized experiences for our customers. It's an opportunity for us to treat our top tier customers specially, introduce them to a customized way of banking and enable their businesses in a more intimate, intentional manner.
Chief Marketing and Communications and Customer Experience Officer at GCB Bank PLC, Cynthia Ofori. And that's all for business on News Night. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you very much, George, for bringing us the latest in business. It's now time for sports, and Daniel is here with the latest.
Let's go straight into the stories. And the National Sports Authority has officially announced that the suspension on professional boxing in Ghana will be lifted on Thursday, November 6th, which is tomorrow, marking a major step towards reviving one of the country's most celebrated sporting disciplines. The decision follows months of extensive consultations between the NSA, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, and the Interim Management Committee established to oversee boxing's normalization process. According to the authority, the IMC has made significant progress in resolving the issues that led to the sport's suspension, particularly through strengthening medical and safety protocols and improvements in governance and administrative systems. Moving on, Asante Kotoko will face Hearts of Folk in the season's first installment of the Super Clash on Sunday at the Accra Sports Stadium. The country's two biggest sides are the only two unbeaten teams in the league so far this season. Kotoko head coach Karim Zito believes Sunday will provide an opportunity for his side to prove that their defeats to Hearts in the Galka top 4 earlier this season was a fluke.
As a folk in Kotoko, everybody knows how the game is. It is one of the best and one of the most difficult game between the two. So everybody wants to win, just as we are going there with the mindset of winning. So it's like you plan against the best side of your opponent and then capitalize on the weaker side. So this is what we are doing in short. We played twice. We beat him one. He also had us during the gala. So this is the third one to prove to him that maybe the gala, as I said, to me, the top 4, the timing was very bad for Kotoko. I'm vindicated now.
That was Asante Kotoko head coach Karim Zito bringing an end to sports. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Pearl?
Now, you've been wondering why tap water, especially those resold in buckets and barrels, has become more expensive. The latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service provides more answers. According to the October 2025 inflation report, inflation for water rose to 15%, even as the national headline inflation continued its downward trend into single digits. Johnny's research reviews worrying developments behind the price hikes. Data from Ghana Water Limited shows that the company may be compelled to spend over 5.5 billion cedis on operations and maintenance in 2026, largely due to damages caused by galamsey activities. While these costs, which include water treatment and equipment replacement, are expected to exert significant pressure on tariffs and the stability of water supply in the coming years. Ghana Water has already sent a bold proposal to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission seeking a 280% increase in the water tariff, and the big factor has been galamsey. The fear is that this may worsen inflation numbers for resold water. Now, head of research here at Joy News, Isaac Kofieji, has been studying both the inflation report and GWL's proposal document to the PRC and joins me in the studio with details. Isaac, first of all, tell us how resold water found its way into the top 20 items.
In fact, the first time we saw it featuring the top 20 items was in April 2025. And since then, it's featured for the last 7 months consecutively. And we've checked the inflation for resold water, and the average has been around 17% in the last 7 months. And the fear is that because of illegal mining, we may see tariffs go up. And already we have seen that big proposal by the Ghana Water Limited to ask for about 280% increase in their tariff.
Now to the Ghana Water Limited, how is their cost looking like next year in terms of operations and maintenance?
Already there's a very, very high figure in terms of cost of operations and maintenance this year. They estimate that at somewhere around 4.7 billion Ghana cedis this year. Now, they say that because of illegal mining, they are being forced to shut down about 10 of their plants, which they captured in that proposal. And they say that if nothing is done about illegal mining and in terms of their operation cost and estimation for 2026, they project that as a result of some of these issues, their costs in terms of operation and maintenance could balloon to 5.5 billion Ghana cedis by next year.
Head of Research at Joy News, Isaac Ofieji. Thank you.
Let's now head to the central region because there's looming public health crisis in Winneba. Residents say their taps are no longer delivering potable water, but danger. For over a year, a brown, muddy liquid, almost raw river water has been flowing into homes. Many families are left with no option than to use the contaminated water for their domestic purposes. Others have turned to using seawater. The Winneba Headworks simply cannot clean what illegal miners have polluted upstream. In this edition of Dear Mahama Stop Galamsey, Winneba residents are pleading with President John Mahama to fulfill his promise to end illegal mining.
We ended our semester exams last Tuesday. I went to church to give thanks to God for a successful end of semester.
Meet Amos Indam, a level 300 student of the University of Education, Winneba. Today should be a joyous day, but his biggest worry is how to stay clean in a town where water has become a hazard.
Some of us will have to resort into going to fetch water from the sea, the salt water.
Amos is not asking for miracles, only colorless water, the kind he once learned about in class.
It will marvel you to see the color of water being yellowish, containing some particles, such that even if you wash with a cloth that is white, you end up staining it. But before we started exams, I was admitted 3 times. And I think it's as a result of the water. Not that I drink, but when I bath, after finishing, I feel some scratches on my skin. And I want to believe it is because of the chemicals, mercury, that they actually used for the mining activities.
The Winneba Headworks is suffocating, silt choking its intake, raw water so polluted it cannot be properly treated. And as the system gasps, an entire community finds itself drowning in uncertainty.
And when you ask, they say now, because of the Galamsey, the water works people used to use so many chemicals before it will be neat.
Winneba is full of Amoses. Among them, elders who remember when water was not a privilege.
We used to get water every day. Sometimes it could take us more than 1 week, there will be no water. The one way will come from water works itself. If you fetch it, put it down for some hours, you will see say there's dirty, clay under.
Sometimes I say,
as we be watched now, it's red. The water is giving us much headache.
The people of Winneba are not asking for luxury, just clean water.
President John Dramani Mahama, I don't think we are winning the fight against Galamsey. And if we want to win the fight against Galamsey, we must employ radical means.
Our president, Mahama, I beg, when you want to come to power, you pledge to say if you come, you will stop Galamsey. But now, never get 1 year. It's almost 8 months, 9 months now. So we beg you to try to stop it, because that Galamsey is giving us big headache.
President John Dramani Mahama promised to end illegal mining. Here in Winneba, the water tells a different story. Residents say they do not want speeches, they want action, and they want it now. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy News, Winneba, Central Region.
And you've been sharing some of your comments on the stories we brought to you. Nicholas Bento from Akachi says the NPP should keep quiet when it comes to the Galamsey issue. During your time, you said party Hiasika and you destroyed everything. Someone is trying to clean your mess and you're still making noise. Aban Papaba. This one from Michael in Legon says if Ghana needs advice on how to manage Galamsey, is it NPP and its lands and natural resources minister the best to go for? Please, these self-righteous people should give Ghanaians a break. And the final one says, do we still have the fast-track high courts that were established in 2001? If no, does government intend to create one? Those courts are badly needed now, and it's from Prof. Intema.
Right, and that ends it for News 9 tonight. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Pearl Ofori.
But right after News 9, though, is strong and sassy, and the beautiful Enimwa is already in the studio. Enimwa, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's another Wednesday.
It is indeed. What are we discussing tonight?
Proposal.
Oh.
So are you married?
Not yet.
So do you plan on doing like a lavish proposal?
No. That looks too much of a scene from a movie.
Oh, you see Ghana men. So unromantic. Everything, movie.
But anyway, you've been seeing those viral proposals where the people have been bounced before, haven't you?
So it's fear of bounce.
I saw one where the guy proposed in a lavish restaurant, and then I think he gave the lady, was it a phone or something?
Okay.
And the lady told the guy that he should go on his knees.
Okay.
The guy said no. The lady refused the proposal.
Oh,
because
wow.
the guy said no, and the cameras were all over.
And I don't know whether you've seen the recent one. The lady slapped the boyfriend for.
You don't say.
Yes. She was very upset.
Very upset.
She was very upset.
You see,
But anyway, so based on all of these things, we're talking about proposals and maybe how you should gauge, how your partner, we'll also be sharing how, we would like to be proposed to if you're out there and you're wondering how to.
I know the ladies love that. I know. Some.
Do you have tips for the men as well?
I think that would be fair, right? Yeah. So we'll definitely put that together.
Then today's conversation will be very
very interesting. I can promise you that. Strong SRC coming up next.